Hi, in this vlog, I like to discuss a new paradigm for senior care, how life can actually get better with age. And based on some of our last overviews and discussion, we can see there's a possibility that diseases of aging, for example, Alzheimer's, dementia, can both be prevented and reversed. So if you really subscribe to the premise that reversal and neurological repair is possible, what possibilities would that provide for us in the senior population if life were actually better with age? And Bill Thomas, who wrote Second Wind, as I mentioned before, one of the leaders in elder care and senior aging, has spoken about the idea that elderhood is rising. And what is elderhood? He defines elderhood as a state of development above and beyond middle age, where the elders in our society who can remain clear and cogent in consciousness can actually be a resource for the younger generation. And so what would that look like if people that were aging were a resource both mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually for the rest of us that were younger? And so this has tremendous relevance on all levels in our culture. And if we took a look at the new way of aging over 60, there's a number of types of living situations that could be transformed with this preface. For example, over 55 communities, of which there's over 200 in the United States, could really be changed in terms of their approach, in terms of how aging was approached. In senior living in general, independent living, maybe there could be a possibility of more community and more connectedness. It's the idea that Bill Thomas and others speak about, that the perspective and what we're looking at with senior care could be quite different because people could remain more well and more viable. And our models for what we call aging in place would change. And it's the idea in the senior community that a lot of people, and this happened with my mom as she aged, didn't want to leave her home that she'd lived in for years. And people provide services to them so they can comfortably be in the house where they grew up in, where they were there later in life. And that as they remain vibrant, those people that are providing aging in place, including aging in place, including trained craniosacral therapists, could visit those homes to support that. So there's this aspect of community. And there's a story, Eric Klinkenberg, what a name, he wrote a whole book on the advent of more and more seniors, both in the United States and in Scandinavian countries. Scandinavian countries have done a lot to really create structures where people can have single apartments and yet they're connected to the rest of the community. Right now in the United States, there's 17 million single women and about 12 to 15 million single men of an older age. And people are electing more and more to actually remain single and not be in relationships in a traditional way, but it's great that they have the supportive community around them as they age. All this would change as we look at the aspect of aging changing over time and people remaining well and viable and healthier. So if we age in a different and perhaps a healthier way, this would change how we live, impact the quality of our life, and how and in what type of medical and alternative types of alternatives we would subscribe to. And in our next section, I'll talk a little bit more about this and the implications of aging in place and what this means for all of us and our families. Thank you.